Oh, ho, ho, wow. Chill. Honey, baby. My flight, listen, I was supposed to get back at 11:30 today. My flight got delayed for 3 hours, okay? So here we are. Ask Pisco. I left his home early this morning. What? No one asked. Read the CNN expose. Lawmakers get in heated exchange. Honey, chill. You can't sit into the side. You have to be right in front of me. Okay, hold on.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Man, I love our chairman. I mean, people have called the chairman many things, different adjectives over the last 2 years, but I admire his courage. I mean, literally, as Donald Trump is running away from Project 2025, trying to put as much distance between him and Project 2025 because the American people know it's toxic, but not our chairman. No. The chairman, with all of his wisdom, he features Project 2025 in the hearing, one of our last hearings, right before the election. I mean, if the Trump campaign is listening, here you go, Project 2025 in a hearing. I'm sure they're real happy about that. But, you know, Project 2025 wants to get rid of NOAA, wants to get rid of the National Weather Service. You know, the people that tell you the weather and help us prepare for hurricanes. So I say that as a former director of emergency management for the state of Florida, for a Republican governor, actually, who responded to hurricanes. You know, maybe if once we get rid of it, if Project 2025 were to succeed, if Trump were to win, maybe we'll just do it with a magic 8-ball or maybe with a Ouija board, or maybe we'll do hurricane cones like President Trump did, right? Where he just circled in another state that wasn't in the cone. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do hurricane predictions, like maybe it'll go to Mississippi, maybe it'll go to North Carolina, or maybe it'll go to all three. Oh, look, I made a smiley face. Maybe that's how we'll do the weather. You know, I could see it right now, right? Trump would come out and say, it's going to be raining cats and dogs today. Please don't eat them. Okay? But, you know, the name of this committee today is Failures and Incompetencies. So let's talk about the big Knish, right? The chairman's failed impeachment. Let's remember, we misplaced an informant over a year ago, couldn't find him, didn't know where he went.
What? Did something just happen? Wait, was that light in the back always off? Or did my power just flicker somehow? Hello. Where are you going? Good. True, Dan.
Another informant was indicted for providing false information that came from Russian intelligence. We used a second informant who was turned out to be an indicted Chinese foreign agent. And to top it off, the chairman was like, who could we find to make it even better? Maybe we can get someone to testify from prison, which actually we did here on Zoom. Here is the chairman's 300-page book report on impeachment. He said in his release, it is the strongest case for impeachment of a sitting president the House of Representatives has ever investigated. Wow, that sounds pretty serious.
Did anybody report anything out of this? I feel like I didn't hear a peep, even out of alternative media, even out of Fox News. I feel like I didn't hear anything about the impeachment thing. It was like 300 pages.
So I want the chairman to show the American people that we didn't just waste millions of taxpayer dollars to issue this book report. Mr. Chairman, the speaker is watching. You could call for impeachment right now, right? We got a little bit of time left before the election. I mean, you know, just ask the speaker. You could ask the speaker right now, or talk to him. Like, when are we going to schedule impeachment? Or is this just concepts of impeachment? Right? No? Okay. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think that the chairman titled this, and I love the title of today's hearing, right? A legacy of incompetence, consequences of the Biden-Harris administration policy failures. I made a couple of edits to the title of today. So the title, I think, really is a legacy of incompetence, consequences of the Comer chairmanship.
Go back, is DGG coded? Hold on.
Just concepts of impeachment. Right? People that we didn't just waste millions of taxpayer dollars to issue this book report. That Mr. Chairman, the Speaker is watching. You could call for impeachment right now, right? We got a little bit of time left before the election. I mean, you know, just ask the Speaker. You could ask the Speaker right now, or talk to him. Like, when are we going to schedule impeachment? Or is this just concepts of impeachment? Right? No? Okay.
They won't schedule impeachment either because, one, it's never making it through the Senate. That would be crazy. And two, I don't even know how many Republicans would vote on it. These guys are Jim Jordan is a joke. There's probably worse people oh, this guy's a joke too. Mr. Raskin. I feel like I've heard him say some dumb shit. Jim Jordan is crazy.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think that
I don't even
the
have
chairman
it out of the house.
Titled this, and I love the title of today's hearing.
Oh, no, wait, you're right. Okay. Wait, why does he have a different nameplate in front of him? I feel like I've seen this guy say retarded shit. But it's not. It's Mr. Comer. Okay. Because this is the guy that did the video of the proving of the... this video. He's this guy.
Joe, FC.
Where's our full chart? I love it. I love X's native video player. He's this guy that proved how Chinese money laundering people benefit Joe Biden directly. A great man. Mr. Is it Comer? Is that how you pronounce his name?
The chairman titled this, and I love the title of today's.
Raskin is a Dem? Yeah, is Raskin the guy with the curly hair? Who was on the J? Yeah, this guy. Oh, okay, yeah. Makes more sense. All right.
Hearing, right? A legacy of incompetence, consequences of the Biden-Harris administration policy failures. I made the steps of impeachment. Right? No? Okay. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think that the chairman titled this, and I love the title of today's hearing, right? A legacy of incompetence, consequences of the Biden-Harris administration policy failures. I made a couple of edits to the title of today. So the title, I think, really is a legacy of incompetence, consequences of the Comer chairmanship, okay? Because all we've had in this committee for 2 years is failure. Failed impeachment, failure on this gas stove nonsense, failure on all the Chinese COVID stuff. They did nothing with that COVID committee. It's all failure. The whole House, the whole 118th Congress is failure. They removed the speaker, right? Then they tried to remove a second speaker, right? That's really great for the American people, right? Then they impeached the cabinet secretary. That hadn't happened in 150 years. They've had multiple CRs fail. Right? They can't even keep the government open without both speakers crawling to the Democrats to be the adults in the room to keep government opening. So, I mean, literally, if we're going to talk about failures and incompetencies, we should just look at what we've done here over the last 2 years. And I want to end with this. I mean, literally 2 weeks ago, right, all we heard was about what the Haitian people were doing in Springfield. But no, the chairman wanted to top that. He literally brought a witness who proffered in this committee that the Haitian people would have been better off had they stayed in slavery for several more decades. Mr. Chairman, I want to spare you the embarrassment. You should strike his words from the record. No, you stand by his comment that the Haitian people would have been better off in slavery for 30 more years? Or should we strike that from the record? I just want to spare you that embarrassment. Okay, so the chair.
All right, your time's expired. Before I recognize Mr. Timmons, I would love to be a fly on the wall when you find out that Joe Biden dropped out of the presidential election and his son pled guilty for corruption.
Why didn't you impeach him? Wait, why didn't you impeach him, Mr. Chairman? Where's the impeachment vote?
Thank you,
Mr. Speaker, when's the impeachment vote? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I mean, we have a 300-page book report, tens of millions of dollars.
Chair recognizes Mr. Timmons from South Carolina.
Fake impeachment.
Mr. Chairman, I'll begin by pointing out that Hunter Biden is going to be sentenced on December 16th.
Hunter Biden's not the
and
president.
I bet you money he's gonna...
Timmons, you need to take your medication and leave. Chair recognizes Mr. Timmons.
Mr. Chairman, you're several decades older than me. We know who's taking more medication.
Oh, wait, whoa, no. Jesus. Christ. That was brutal. Honey, you're freaking out. You're crashing out. What's going on? Hi, baby. Okay. What do we got going on today? I have a debate in a few hours. What should we do? What is this? Why? Okay, what do we got? We're clicking links. Wait, what is this? When did this happen?
So let's see how that turns out. Arizona, it's a big deal. And a lot of things are happening now in the state. Praise, real praise. So let's see how that turns out. Arizona, it's a big deal. And a lot of things are happening now in the state of Georgia. With all of these cancellations, and all of the things that they're doing, all of the votes that they're taking out of the system. All of the dead people at their party. Some of the dead people requested an application and they voted.
But they have nothing to do with that.
Even 30% of Democrats think it was cheating.
Do you think it's actually people leaving? It's probably not even related. But it'll still trigger the fuck out of it.
Would cheat on you with?
Oh my gosh.
I made a slideshow of people I would cheat on you with.
Oh my gosh. I did the same.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, you go first. Yeah.
Love you, Pookie.
Now I feel bad.
Why? I always tell you you're so loved every morning.
I've made mine real.
That's fine, we're having fun.
Okay, they're all slur. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Like a whole cast. Show me what you got.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm sorry, he's just really sexual to me, babe.
No, look. I don't know what was in the water back then with these white boys, but they got me by the cock and balls.
Really?
Imagine ordering chicken tikka with this guy.
Is this supposed to be like ironically bad or?
What the fuck?
He's just a really good man.
Insane, baby. I have the same thing.
You wanna fuck your dad too?
Hey, I'm just messing with you. Look. If she just changed a few things about her diet,
Wait, what is this video? Wait, what is happening?
if she just changed a few things about her diet, I think she'd be really beautiful.
Okay.
Nancy, I'm so thirsty. Should I drink water or guzzle the gasoline straight out of the nozzle? I'm so thirsty and I haven't had a liquid in 4 days. Okay, Google says that 1 ounce of gasoline is fatal to children. I'm not a child. Is that something I should take into account? The GPS says to turn left. Should I do that or go off the bridge?
Don't do that.
No one's ever gone off the bridge before. Maybe it's a quicker route.
What's wrong with you?
I don't have enough information. Oh, my doctor's calling me. Hello? I need more time to think. Nancy, should I have them give me a massive breast implant or should I have them cut off both my arms?
Is that something they offer?
There's no way to know.
Hi, what can I get for you?
What do you want?
Okay.
Sir, you gotta pay your taxes. Taxes? How much? I don't know. Oh, okay, I owe nothing? No, you do. Okay, how much? I don't know. Habibi, who knows? Ideally you, sir. How am I supposed to know? Well, you gotta do your calculations. How? We have tools for that. Yeah, why don't you use them then? They're for you to use. Why me? It's your taxes. Yeah, but you want some. Oh, yeah, we do. Habibi, what if I don't pay? Oh, we take your stuff. Take my stuff, I'll buy more. You also go to prison. I don't want to go to prison. Then do the calculations and pay. Oh, Allah, what if I make mistake? That's tax fraud. But it's mistake that you made. How will I even know I make mistake? We'll let you know, don't worry. So you do know how much I owe? No. Then how will you know I make mistake? We have tools for that. Then just use the tools, ya Ahmar. They're different tools. Also, I'm not getting paycheck now. I'm living on saving. Oh, you're getting paid cash. What? We know. How do you know that? We got tools for that. Sir, you gotta pay your...
Okay.
You know, I think when you look at what's happening in Gaza, of course everybody's gonna call you an Israel hater or anti-Semitic or all the things. Everybody gets called names.
Pro-terrorism, pro-Hamas.
Who want to promote war.
Right.
Yeah. But the question is not what you think of Israel in a broad sense. It's not what you think of the history in a broad sense. Any of that stuff, whether Israel has a right to exist. The question is Israel meeting the standards?
Oh, wait, of a country that the United States should support.
Of the first world democratic countries in the world for trying to avoid civilian casualties. And that's all. When I look at what they're, especially in the first several weeks of this conflict, you watch what they're doing, I don't think it's possible to make the case that they were living up to those standards. Something like when they hit the Jabalia refugee camp, and the Israeli spokesman, the IDF spokesman, was talking to Wolf Blitzer, and
isn't this a World War II revisionist guy? Yeah, I don't like to call him a revisionist because that implies that he knows the original history enough to revise it. He's just a conspiracy theorist dipshit.
Wolf asked him, knowing there were civilians there, you still hit this thing, and the guy said, well, there might have been tunnels there. And my ears pricked up. I was like, might have been tunnels. And then he said, well, the terrorists that you were trying to hit there, did you kill them? And he said, we're looking into that. And it's like, you hit a refugee camp with 6 JDAMs based on the idea that there might have been tunnels there and that you might have had a guy that you were able to kill who was bad. I would want the American commander who ordered something like that in Iraq or wherever, anywhere in the world, I would want that guy put on trial. I think when you...
Wow, so brave. Who is the other guy? Yeah, this is Glenn Greenwald,
I said, well,
a guy who also probably gets paid by Russia. Or just is somehow also professionally an anti-American that carries water for Donald Trump and pro-Russian talking points in lockstep with every other paid-off fucking loser, yeah. Could just be coincidence, though. Destiny isn't responding because he can't respond to this. There's nothing to respond to. What? First of all, he says hit a refugee camp. He doesn't know what a refugee camp is. He thinks that a refugee camp is always tense, right? Every city, if you're going to get funding by UNRWA, has to be defined as a refugee camp. I've been to these. I went to the West Bank. I've seen a refugee camp. Or you can Google pictures of it and look at a refugee camp. It's not a bunch of tents. That's what they call our cities so that they get the UNRWA classification in order to receive funding, because that's how it's done. So, one, already fucking retarded. Two, he's saying, did you guys get the terrorists? In an active war zone, it's very rare that anybody's going to be able to confirm any kill or anything. So the idea that he wouldn't have an exact answer on the news right there for that is stupid as fuck. Number three, was he referring to the? Is that the one that was near Al Mawasi? But it was outside of the technically designated safe zone where they hit the truck and then it caused the nearby tents to catch on fire or whatever. The thing that there were literally satellite images of, or it wasn't satellite, I guess. There were images of the things that shoot. What are the mortar tubes? I don't remember their tubes. What? There were attacks literally coming right outside of this fucking camp. Yeah, that was it. Yeah. Every single thing this guy said is fucking retarded. So it's. What am I supposed to respond to? There's literally nothing. There's literally nothing of substance for this guy to respond to. It's just every other dog shit conspiracy wrapped together. Like every other dog shit conspiracy by a bunch of people who don't know anything about the region, the history, the area, what's going on, have any standard for how any country should act or know he's a fucking retard. What am I supposed to say? Yeah. Sorry, but I gave up letting scumbags on the internet run their mouth about me a long time ago. Also, you can stop with these smaller account nonsense. If a tweet has traction, I don't give a fuck how many followers the author has. When and where in life do you get to talk shit with impunity? Take some accountability for the boulder dash, you are saying. If that's too scary for you, then don't speak. Damn. True. Based. Ethan Klein posting progressively smaller Twitter accounts to his Instagram stories with full knowledge that his fans and Destiny tagalongs will harass them is such disgusting behavior. It's intimidation and bullying. He needs to get a fucking grip. Fucking grip. You notice how a lot of people made fun of this guy, and then the retard Avengers like Dave Smith and Glenn showed up in support of him? Yeah, because there's a whole network of these guys that all basically take turns coming in a giant jar and then all sipping out of it when they've mixed all their collective Russian loads together. So Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith, it wouldn't surprise me if he makes some type of appearance on would he be on Joe Rogan? I don't know if it would go that far. Maybe Lex Friedman, not sure if it would go those two. But all of the alt media people are going to glaze the fuck out of him because he's their guy. Has Tim Pool mentioned him favorably yet?
People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's a warm-hearted person.
This is Martin Luther King on steroids.
To cherish. You have to cherish Marky to start. You have to cherish him. Amen. It's like a fine wine because that's what you have.
Who's the black guy? I think he's running for governor of something or lieutenant governor of something, but apparently the story's just broke and this dude he made some mistakes. He made some mistakes. Apparently he's just made a lot of really, really, really unhinged comments on porn websites and stuff. Many of Robinson's comments were gratuitously sexual in lewd nature. They were made between 2008 and 2012 on Nude Africa, a pornographic website that includes a message board. The comments were made under the username Mini Solder, a moniker Robinson used frequently online. Robinson listed his full name on his profile for Nude Africa, as well as an email address that he used on numerous websites across the internet for decades. CNN is reporting only a small portion of Robinson's comments on the website given their graphic nature. If you're a man on Friday night and all of a sudden Saturday you feel like a woman and you want to go to the women's bathroom in the mall, you'll be arrested or whatever we got to do to you. Robinson said at a campaign rally in February of 2024, we're going to protect our women. Yet privately under the username Mini Solder, I don't know what that's supposed to be, on Nude Africa, Robinson graphically described his own sexual arousal as an adult from the memory of secretly peeping on women in public gym showers as a 14-year-old. Robinson recounted the story as a memory he said he still fantasized about. I came to a spot that was a dead end but had two big vent covers over it. It just so happened it overlooked the showers. I sat there for about an hour and watched as several girls came in and showered, Robinson wrote on Nude Africa. CNN is not publishing the graphic sexual details of Robinson's story. I went peeping again the next morning, Robinson wrote, but after that, I went back to the ladder. But after that, I went back. The ladder was locked. So those 2 times were the only times I got to do it. Ah, memories. Yeah, he might have been part of the freak off. Yeah, maybe. Man, Republicans are in free fall right now.
He's been an
Oh, no.
unbelievable Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. I heard him, and by the way, his wife is much more lovely than he is, I can tell you that, and she's my friend. Thank you, darling, for being here. But, you know, I heard him coming in on the plane. I was listening, and I said to the people on the plane, watch this. This is Martin Luther King on steroids, okay? Now, I told that to Mark. I said, I think you're better than Martin Luther King. I think you are Martin Luther King times 2. And he looked at me, and I wasn't sure, was he angry because that's a terrible thing to say, or was he complimented? I have never figured it out. But I'm telling you, he's one of, right? When I said that to you, you looked like, I don't know if I like that comment. You should like it, because you are outstanding, and you're going to be the next governor, so that's going to be very cool. Now, you know the fake news will go today, and they'll take that little statement that I make, that little cute statement, and they'll say, he said that this gentleman is better than Martin Luther King. This is a terrible thing. Is he a racist? It'll end up being, I don't care. It doesn't matter.
True.
Because the people get it. Mark, the people get it. Thank you, Mark. And that was a great speech you made, too, and I appreciate it very much.
Yikes. Well.
They had 32,000. This is a little beautiful town. No crime, no problem. 32,000 illegal immigrants come into the town, 32. So they almost doubled their population in a period of a few weeks. Can you believe it? And you know what? They've got to get much tougher. I'm going to go there in the next 2 weeks. I'm going to Springfield and I'm going to Aurora. You may never see me again, but that's okay. Got to do what I got to do. Whatever happened to Trump? Well, he never got out of Springfield. I'm leading in Ohio by like 15 points, a lot.
And we're going to take care of Ohio, and we're going to take care of Colorado, and we're going to take care of every single state in the union. They're all under siege. A lot of people don't talk about. But think of this. So the mayor of Springfield, and I think he's a very nice person, but instead of saying we're getting them all out, we're getting them out, he says very simply, we're hiring teachers to teach them English. Can you believe it? We are hiring interpreters, so when they go to school and take the place of our children in school, we have an interpreter. Each one will have a private interpreter. What the hell is wrong with our country?
Jesus Christ.
We're getting them out of our country. They came in illegally. They're
Is that even true?
destroying our country. We're getting them out. They're going to be brought back to the country from which they came. I will protect our country. I will protect our country. Think of it. She will surrender our country. That's what they're doing. They still refuse to acknowledge that these people have to be taken out. And you start with the stone cold killers, the murderers, the drug dealers. You get them out, and you tell them if they ever come back, big trouble. But let me tell you what you really do. Some of them are so bad you can't take the chance of sending them out because they'll come back. You lock them up, and it's going to be there for a long time.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so it doesn't even look like they're here illegally. We're just talking about they're just black? Is that the problem, I guess? Is that... Okay. All right. Based.
Trump rally. Everyone's talking about toning down the rhetoric. We also have some other ones like I hate Taylor Swift, some other things Donald Trump has said. So we're going to see which ones are more popular with Trump supporters here. Hey guys, we're giving out free signs. We've got tone down the rhetoric, and then we've got lock up Kamala.
You want lock up Kamala? Yeah. Or could you want to tone down the rhetoric sign?
Yeah, that's
no.
Down.
Lock her up.
You want to lock up Kamala?
Lock up Kamala. Yeah.
Okay. Not the tone down the rhetoric?
No.
Tone down the rhetoric is one of them, and then we've got they're eating cats and dogs, which is the unfounded claim that Trump was saying. You want that one? The cats and you want they're eating cats and dogs? Yeah. There hasn't been any proof of that yet, but he did say it at the debate.
Tone down the rhetoric.
See, that's the one that's a hard sell.
That's a hard sell?
Yeah.
Why is it a hard?
Turn up the rhetoric.
We have I hate Taylor Swift.
Yeah, that's good.
That's the one you want? Here you go.
Yeah, I think it's 50 though.
But you don't want to tone down the rhetoric?
We thought the tone down the rhetoric was going to be the popular one, but people wanted they're eating cats and dogs, which is like kind of.
There's obviously a reason for some concern, right? 15,000 immigrants into a town of 58,000 people. There could be, but now it's impossible to know because they just outed themselves as racist. If there's a reason, then you lead with the reason. When you fabricate something, then every reasonable human being is going to look at you and go like, oh, you just don't like because they're black. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you just lead with the reason of what's happening, right? Oh, like we cannot support this many people because of whatever. It could be social welfare programs. It could be lack of housing. It could be whatever. Like these are complaints you could have. But as soon as you start making shit up, it's like, oh, okay, you're just racist. No one should take you seriously. No one should listen to you. Move. Go live somewhere else. I don't know. Not in America. Like you're fucking retarded. Like, yeah. Every single person is going to look at you strangely and not take you seriously if you're talking about a problem and you lead with a bunch of bullshit. So why do they choose Springfield? I don't know. It sounded like Springfield was trying to reach out to people looking for jobs, and I guess a bunch of Haitians started moving there.
And I see a lot of people getting killed.
What is this?
Right, lots of murders and
day ago.
accidents caught on cell phones and CCTV. It's like that terrible film from the 70s, Faces of Death. I think it purported to be real, and a lot of it was fictional, but anyway, it was just a horrible montage of people being killed or seeming to be killed. It's like that film has somehow been seeded into the DNA of the internet, and it's just now endlessly exfoliated for us. You're scrolling on X, you see a video of 3 kids sitting on a subway track, and before you even have time to think, oh, that doesn't look so good, one of them touches the 3rd rail and gets electrocuted. Then her friend tries to pull her off the track and he gets electrocuted too. There are endless videos like this on X now. Is this somehow an important victory?
Okay.
I get it if you're just completely stupid and you got sucked into this cult thing, but what I don't get is how can you be on the fence about the shape of the Earth?
Well, it's just people that really are not educated. That's number one. And people that believe that there's a collusion that's so large that all of the space agencies from Japan, from China, from Russia, all of them are liars. That all of them are colluding together to hide the true shape of the Earth, because if we really knew the Earth is flat, then it always is connected to some sort of a Bible thing. Like it's the firmament, and they believe that we're hiding the fact that God is real, and somehow there's some mass conspiracy that all these world governments and every person that ever was involved in the space agencies, they've all hid from us.
Yeah, and the moon landing. You're not you believe in the moon landing, right?
I used to believe in the moon landing.
You don't anymore?
Oh, he's joking.
I had a joke in my act about it, that before COVID, I would have told you vaccines the most important invention in human history. And after COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon.
Yeah, I know that was in your, but yeah. you actually think that?
I think there is a less...
Wait, how did he did I misunderstand? Wait, did he just give a whole reason for why flat Earth can't be real? Because it would require every single country, every single space agency all over the planet to all agree on this bullshit thing. But then, but he doesn't believe in the moon landing? Isn't it the exact same logic?
I would have told you vaccines the most important invention in human history. And after COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon.
Yeah, I know that was in your, but yeah. you actually think that?
I think there is a less than zero possibility that we did not go to the moon.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Why do you think we went to the moon?
What's the answer? To be honest, I'm a little surprised that Matt Walsh thinks we even went to the moon.
You believe in the moon landing, right?
I used to believe in the moon landing. Invention in human history. And after COVID, I'm like, I don't think we went to the moon.
Yeah, I know that was in your, but
yeah.
you actually think that?
I think there is a less than zero possibility that we did not go to the moon.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Why do you think we went to the moon?
Because it's exactly what you just said about, well, there's a lot of reasons, but.
Yeah, Rogan just laid out the perfect line of logic.
The main thing is what you just said about the Earth. The vastness of the conspiracy that would be required to fake that. It's so vast that it's a lot more incredible to believe that we faked it than to believe that we just went. And going to the moon, it's a massive achievement. But I think the greatest human achievement of all time. But even so, to fake it would be even more massive.
Going to the moon was the greatest human achievement of all time? Okay.
Because not only would you need all of these space agencies and all the different whatever people in American institutions to be colluding, but you'd also need foreign governments, including adversarial foreign governments, who at this point certainly would know we faked it.
Okay. They're DGGers, okay? This is my logic train. Okay, hold on. If you believe this, now, okay. This is like a skit where Joe Rogan is like, obviously we all three of us here agree that the flat earth is bullshit, right? Well, yeah, of course, Joe. Why is that, Joe? Well, because every single government on the planet would have to collude knowingly to try to sell this lie. Wouldn't that be insane? And all three of us like, yeah. And then Matt goes, Joe, you believe in the moon landing, right? And then Joe's like, well, I don't know about that. And then Matt repeats the same logic back to him. And Joe's like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, but then I would look at Matt and I would go, yeah, Matt, but wait, what about like the COVID vaccines? Isn't that also like every government on the planet colluding together to sell us the bullshit idea that mRNA vaccines are good and all the private, like, what's happening here? It's not even before I used to say people have like the aesthetic of trying to be reasonable or logical. Now they've like adopted like actual logical argumentation as aesthetic because they're not even applying it. This is what Dan was accusing ChatGPT of being 3 days ago. I don't even know what's happening here. What the fuck?
And for some reason haven't blown the lid on it. So they're letting us like take this achievement that they know. Like, why haven't the Russians come out and said?
Why haven't the Russians or the Chinese come out and said, oh, the mRNA vaccines are fucked. They're bad. Don't take them, guys.
Things you're saying are true.
Right.
I don't argue with any of the things you're saying. But one of the things that I think you have to consider was, if it's not possible for human beings to safely go through the Van Allen radiation belts and out into deep space without much protection, and
I don't even know what is this a new? Isn't this like the fucking has to do with our magnetic poles and the things that get absorbed by our atmosphere? What is? Is this a new fucking conspiracy or what the fuck is this? Energetic charged particles which originate from the solar wind, which are captured by and held around a planet by that planet's magnetosphere. Pretty sure SpaceX people were just in that area for a few days. You're just wrong, Destiny. Wrong about what? So this is the thing? Are we gonna have to start doing fucking physics? Hold on. Destiny thinks he's always right and everyone else is wrong. Just to be clear, the vast majority of the planet of educated people align with my opinion, okay? I don't know if you're aware of that or not. Just because you can find one or two crackpot dipshit doctors, okay, that you will kill each other over to guzzle down their load before your fellow fucking conspiracy theorist is able to get on his knees and suck it out of him, okay? Doesn't mean that you have any credibility on your side. There's a reason why it's always one-offs and crackpots that are brought onto these shows to make you feel like there's some actual legitimate backing for any of the shit you say. When these guys are making these opinions, they're the ones that are standing in opposition to the entire fucking planet. My favorite thing in the world would be to take all of you retarded fucks, every MAGA hat-wearing dipshit fucking conspiratard, and ship you all off to a fucking island. I just want to see what you guys build or accomplish in 50 years. Spoiler alert, it will be nothing. You will achieve and accomplish nothing. You don't believe in science. You don't understand fucking anything. You'll be killing each other like fucking cannibals, okay? Probably inventing 50 new different ways to fucking worship Christ through the fucking sacrifice of what, just... You're so stupid. I hate you. I genuinely fucking hate you. I hate you. I hate you. I wish we ship you all off, okay, for 50 years and see what the fuck you guys are able to come up with. You don't deserve to reap the benefits of anything in society around you because you don't believe in any of it. Like, how many fucking retards are sitting here saying, I don't trust anything from the FDA, and you take fucking pills to make your dick hard, right? Or you say shit like, oh, I'm not going to put that fucking shit in your body, and you're fucking smoking weed or doing fucking cocaine every weekend. Or you're fucking eating McDonald's, or you're doing your fucking insulin shot because you're a fat fucking type 2. Okay? Get the fuck out of here. God, I hate you so much. Oh my God, I hate you so much.
And face
it's not a joke. I sincerely do hate you.
Human beings to safely go through the Van Allen radiation belts and out into deep space without much protection, and face the temperatures that are on the surface of the moon, which get up to 250 degrees and 250 degrees below zero in the shadows. There's no environment there.
A video on the Van Allen, but I don't actually care because I don't want to get into this because I already know this is fucking retarded, okay? Just so you know, the only way that heat can move from one object to another is with an environment. So when you say there's no environment there, how could they survive in the temperature? The temperature exists in an environment. It's like a function of particles fucking crashing and jerking each other off, right? It doesn't matter if a thing is a trillion fucking degrees if there's a vacuum between you and the other thing. Hold on 1 second. IP ban because a whole bunch of people are starting to talk about like, well, actually, what about like radiating heat? Hold on, I'm waiting for him. I'm waiting for them. Where are they? Where are they? Someone's going to say it. Someone's going to say it. There are different ways for you. Yeah, there he is. The temperature of a particular thing in space is not that relevant if you're not sharing some type of way to transfer heat from one object to another. And they also, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but they have spacesuits on as well. Like they do wear big suits. It's not like they're naked up there.
Hostile beyond belief. Micrometeorites are flying into the moon all the time. They're flying through space all the time. We've never had a single biological organism go out into deep space, past the Van Allen radiation belts, and then come back to Earth and come back alive, except human beings during the Apollo missions. Every single space station mission, every single space shuttle mission, all of them are inside 350 miles from the Earth's surface. The only time human beings have ever been past that and through the Van Allen radiation belts was the Apollo missions. And we were the only humans that were ever able to do that. The Russians never figured out how to do it. No one else figured out how to do it but the Apollo astronauts. And we did it 7 times, 6 successfully from 1960.
When they say things like the Russians never figured out how to do it, and I admit I didn't study the moon shit that much, was it because the Russians couldn't figure out how to keep people alive through Van Allen radiation belts? Or was it because of all the rocketeering and shit they needed to create, like multiple vehicles that could detach and land and come back and go back to Earth and everything? Like, in 1958, Dr. James Van Allen discovered a collection of high-energy particle clouds within 40,000 kilometers of Earth, arranged like 2 nested donuts. The inner belt is mainly energetic protons, while the outer belt contains both protons and electrons. These belts have long been known as bad news for satellites and astronauts, with potentially deadly consequences if you spend too much time within them. The figures below, produced by scientists from the NASA CRES satellite, shows the radiation dosages at various locations within the belts. The numbers along the horizontal axis give the distance between the International Space Station and Space Shuttle on this scale orbit very near the edge of the blue Earth disk in the figures. Apollo astronauts and the astronauts. The upcoming visits to the moon will have to travel through some of these belt regions because the orbit of the moon lies along the fastest line of travel from Earth. On the scale of the above figure, the distance to the moon is 60 rhe. Okay. Speed of the spacecraft will be about 25,000 kilometers an hour. If the spacecraft travels along the indicated path, black bar, how long in minutes will it spend in the... Wait, is this a... Oh, what the fuck is this? A worksheet? Speed of the spacecraft will be about blah, blah, blah. If the spacecraft travels along the indicated path, how long in minutes will it spend in the blue, green, yellow, orange, and red regions? Total transit time is 68.1 minutes. Given the indicated radiation dosages in rads per sec for each zone, what would the dosages be the astronauts receive in each zone? What is this, like 15 rads? 16 rads? Some people believe that the Apollo moon landings were a hoax because astronauts would have been instantly killed in the radiation belts. According to the U.S. Occupation Safety and Health Agency, a lethal radiation dosage is 600 rads in 1 hour. What is your answer to the moon landing hoax believers? Wow, cute. Also, this radiation exposure would be for an astronaut outside the spacecraft. During the transit through the belts, the radiation shielding inside the spacecraft cuts down the 14 rads an hour exposure so that it is completely harmless. Good one.
1972. If you said to me, do you think that they could fake the moon landing today? I would say no. I would say no. People are going to be able to track it. It's very easy. They have satellites. They're going to know everything. But in 1969, the technology was so crude that when they first showed the Apollo 11 landing, they didn't even show a direct feed to the networks. So like if you're on CBS News, you don't get a direct feed. What you do is you point a camera at a projection screen. So that's why the film looks so shitty. The camera is pointed to a projection screen where you see the astronauts jumping around on the moon.
The film looks so shitty? Wait, what? Hold on.
The first stage of the Apollo 11 Saturn V
feet are a little below 4 seconds after the next minute.
This film looks shitty. There were later missions where they went back, though. It looks pretty good. This looks like dog shit, though. Fuck, what were the names of the later missions? Does anybody know? Even if the film didn't look amazing, the film would be affected by radiation. No. There's a lot more video footage of the Apollo missions, I think, than people realize. It's not just the dude like bouncing around for a second. Like there's like a decent amount of footage. Fuck. What am I thinking of? Apollo 17? Yeah, right.
Deeply involved in Germany was the space flight mission.
Go for orbit here. The moon. We can see the light. Down here. Never put a flag up in the moon before. What? We got a beautiful picture of you guys up down there. Let me tell you, Bob, this flag is a beautiful picture.
This footage is a lot clearer than the.
This has got to be one of the most proud
I think the ones that people talk about. But I think there's even clearer footage than this.
Okay, was it the rear fender, Gino?
Fuck, I wish I could remember what I was watching.
Yeah, I caught it with my hammer and it just popped right off. Well, if it wasn't for that fender, I'd be ready to go. Makes me sort of mad. A little piece of the rail is cracked off, and I'm just going to put a couple pieces of good old-fashioned American gray tape on it. See whether we can't make sure it stays, because I don't want to lose it. Except the old-fashioned American gray tape doesn't stick to lunar dust-covered fenders.
My dad was working for NASA during the Apollo missions. I lived a mile away. The moon is way further away than a mile, dipshit.
Gene Cernan taping the fender on. I never thought I'd be out here doing this. Bob, I am done. If that fender stays on, I'm going to take a picture of it. Because I'd like some sort of mending award. It's not too neat, but, well, let's hope.
Fucking losers.
Okay. See if we can't fill this up for Christmas. Woo! Gonna wrinkle your toes now. Oh, I wouldn't worry, Gene. Okay, the surface is not changing in terms of the detail, the surface texture of the fine-grained regolith.
No one cares. If you were to guess how many times you need to fold a paper to reach the moon, I would guess 1,000 times. "42 times? Okay, well.
And you see this weird, grainy, third-generation image, right? And we did it, and we have never done it since. And we've always said we're going to do it, and no one's ever even come close. No one's ever even gone into deep space since 1972.
We also haven't been trying.
We haven't been trying. But we always talk about going back, including Herbert Walker Bush talked about going back, George W. talked about going back. They're all...
Yeah, but what, I mean, it's not that we haven't gone back because it's lost Roman technology. We don't know how to go back to the moon anymore. Or I guess it was fake. There's just not the desire for it, right? Meaning the funding and then the political will, I guess, to make it happen, right?
I'll talk about going back, but nobody ever gets anywhere.
Well, I think that's because we lost the spirit and hunger for discovery. Which
we didn't just lose that. We lost all the technology from the Saturn V rocket. They don't even have that anymore. In fact, they don't even have the original film. They erased all the original footage of the Apollo missions. So you just have copies of everything.
You could develop the technology again. You can do all that.
Sure you could. If you can get through the Van Allen radiation belts into deep space with human beings and have them...
Wait, so who talked to him about this? Who gave him where does this Van Allen thing come from? I saw somebody type Candace Owens earlier. Is this like the new thing? The new conspiracy she has? Candace needs to, she needs to be banned from every fucking platform. I actually can't. He's been saying this shit for over 10 years? Oh, has he? I've never heard this. I've never heard the Van Allen thing before.
Safely come back.
But I think what you're describing to me, all that does is highlight how incredible the achievement
if they
was.
Did it. Right, if they did it.
Well, here's the main point. There's no evidence, because saying that it was a hoax is an assertion of it's not you're not just denying an event, you're asserting a whole other event that you say happened instead. And there is evidence that we went to the moon. Now, someone who's a skeptic might say it's not enough evidence or it's not good evidence. There's like evidence. There's eyewitness. There's people that went and came back and told us. There's footage. There's a lot. Okay. There is evidence. Okay. But there's no evidence of the hoax. Like no one has come and said, here's my affirmative evidence that this hoax happened. It's never happened, right? As far as I'm aware, no one's ever provided that evidence.
I see what you're trying to say. The evidence that they went to the moon, there's a bunch, right? There's moon rocks, that's one. There's lunar reflectors that they placed on the moon, that's another. And there's a couple problems with those. First of all, the Soviets put laser reflectors on the moon as well. And also, the moon itself, in many places where you shine lasers on it, it bounces back by itself. The reflective quality of the moon, the reason why the moon is so bright and white in the sky when the sun hits it, there's a certain amount of, you get a certain amount of bounce back off of different things with lasers. There's some photographs that are interesting. What was it? Was the India? What was the one where they got the most high-resolution photos of the lander?
I'm looking at Wikipedia right now of all third-party evidence of the Apollo missions.
One of the things that's interesting is they gave a moon rock to, was it a prime minister of Holland? Is that what it was? Which one was the moon rock they gave that turned out to be petrified wood? So the Apollo astronauts gave a moon rock to some foreign dignitary, and it turned out to be a piece of petrified wood. They do have samples of moon rocks that came from the moon. But we also have those on Earth. In fact, Werner von Braun in 1968, I believe, went to Antarctica. There's all these photographs of him in Antarctica. Antarctica is a great place to take moon rocks because Antarctica is just this gigantic sheet of white, and you can spot the meteorites in the ground. So this is the photo. I mean, this is from what? What's this from? What is the... So this is an Indian Space Research Organization's, I don't know how to say that word, Chandrayaan-2 orbiter captured images of NASA's Apollo 11 and 12 landing sites and lunar modules from 100-kilometer altitude. Apollo 12 image astronaut boots tracks are still even visible. Due to the recent interest in another post I shared, decided to download and view the raw imagery. So that looks like there's some kind of thing on the moon.
It's pretty good evidence.
It is evidence that something's on the moon. It's not evidence that human beings went to the moon.
We're so tied to our conspiracy. One thing that was always said is anytime you're talking to a conspiracy nut, when you have to start inventing whole new technologies to make your conspiracy work, you probably are in the wrong. But he's literally having to invent an alien race being there in order to make this work. That's how we're explaining this.
See, we have things that are on the moon. We have things on Mars right now.
Well,
we have things that we'd shot things into space for sure.
Oh, he's just saying we shot something there and it landed. Okay.
Yeah, but it's evidence. It's not proof in and of itself, but it is evidence.
Listen, I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon. What I'm saying is the subject is complex. And it's not even...
I've never understood what agenda people are trying to push with the moon landing conspiracy. It's the agenda that they need to be removed from society. These people are a cancer that are rotting us, okay? We need... What's this? Thanos, okay? To snap... It's built on this... There's like so many... There's so many different reasons why people say this, and all of them feed into the same type of toxic culture rot that these people push. One is the idea of forbidden knowledge. People love forbidden knowledge. They won't talk about this. They don't let you have these conversations. Actually, tons of people have had these conversations for decades. It's not forbidden. It's just retarded, and everybody knows it. Right? It's like a guy that walks around, shitting himself, being like, they don't want you to do this. The government doesn't want you to know that you can walk around with your asshole caked in shit, and that's why I fucking do it. People, it's not illegal to smell like shit, is it? They didn't want you to know that you can shit yourself and walk around and it's like this. It's like, okay, you can do it. That's one aspect. The second aspect is that they don't know anything about how anything works because the world is so complicated now. It's just like LEDs. What the fuck does that stand for? I'm trying to think of a joke, and I can't even think of one. Something retarded. Like, everything is too complicated, so you can invent a conspiracy to explain everything. It winds in nicely with the not believing in any third-party institutions. This is why they would never be able to build or achieve or accomplish anything. And also, by the way, these people aren't builders, they aren't achievers, and they aren't accomplishers. These types of people are drags on society that the rest of us have to drag along with us, okay, in order to accomplish fucking anything, all right? These are not the fucking Einsteins and the Oppenheimers and the whatever. These are the fucking retards, okay, that are flinging shit from you on the side of the road because they don't believe in fucking sanitized water or whatever. They're complaining that the fluoride is rotting their brains. All right, something is. I don't know. It's not the water though. God, I hate these people. Fuck, they're so. This is why I want them to go away and go somewhere else. And let's see what you come up with. Show me what you come up with in 50 years, because the answer will be nothing. They won't come up with anything. They don't believe in anything. They have no spiritual foundation because they all fake their religious beliefs. Apparently, they're all fucking Christian now. They have no intellectual grounding. Okay, they don't know anything about how to even arrive at a true statement or what it means for a statement to be true. They have no respect for third-party institutions, even though they all relentlessly use them, right? These are the same people like, oh, I don't believe the vax because it wasn't tested. Monoclonal antibodies, fucking, oh, pump me full, doctor. Like, God, I hate these people. God, I hate these people.
Even a little complex. It's really complex. There's a documentary called The Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. This guy, Bart Sibrel, he's been obsessed. He was a guest on the show, too. Been obsessed about this his whole life and absolutely believes that we never went to the moon. And there's enough shit that you go, okay, if he's right about any of these things, it's weird. One of the things was some of the photographs of the moon, they ran through one of those AI detectors that can tell you whether or not something's false or artificially generated. And it showed different images from, I think it was a Chinese satellite of the moon. They said this is legitimate. But then it got to these Apollo images, and they said these have been doctored. This is AI. This AI program. That
All
they
the
ran,
images or a few of them?
A few of them.
Like, think about what you're saying here, right? I don't trust anything. I don't trust anything about us being able to go to the moon. But I trust LLM. I trust programs that programmers don't even understand the code of, that can run simulations on millions or tens of millions or hundreds of millions of times across data sets in order to analyze things and then try to come to some sort of like answer to ascertain whether or not something is true or false in a way that we thought only humans could do, like as recently as 10 years ago. You believe these things. You trust, like, but it's, oh, fuck. Okay. It's the idea that you would say, the problem is people just don't understand. No offense, okay? And I'm not trying to knock any rocket scientists, okay, out there, okay? Not trying to piss anybody off, okay? Rockets are, you put the fuel in the thing and you shoot the rocket at a place, okay? And adding a little capsule and put some humans on is impressive, okay? The cell phone, this represents like an exponential increase in human technology. Creating a cell phone or creating like these language models. This is infinitely more complex than firing a fucking rocket at the moon with some people in it and then having them come back. This is infinitely more complex. But you don't understand it because you take it for granted. When's the last time you saw a rocket ship launch, right? Probably never, you know? When's the last time you handle a phone? Every single fucking day. So phones are probably not that complicated and rockets are spooky. Like when people talk about the space age, you know that like the space age is in the past, right? Like we're beyond that. We're not in the space age anymore. That was like the 20th century. We're over it. The CPU in your phone has many times the processing capacity and memory of every computer that existed in 1969 combined. Yeah. Okay. Or I didn't mean dismissively. Yeah. No, you're right. It's not even close. I'm pretty sure like collectively it was like megabytes maybe of data across the entirety of what could have been stored across all the drives of those early Apollo missions, of all the Apollo missions. Let me get a drink, 1 sec. Okay. Can we move on? Are we done with this? I think we're done with this.
But then other ones were found to be authentic.
I don't think so. I think they only ran a few images through. See if you can find those, Jamie. Find what they did.
Please don't hate on space so much. Building those rockets at the 60s and calculating the trajectory of the moon with so little computing power was insanely hard. Yeah, I know. It was a lot of work. But also, keep in mind, there was already a lot of research on that, right? With ICBMs, with missiles. Like, there was a lot of that was happening militarily as well. Like, there was a lot of work. There was a lot of research. There was a lot of money being poured into that industry because being able to shoot nukes at your opponents was really important. Because how cringe is that you have to fucking ship to Cuba, okay, in order to be able to nuke the United States? You don't want to be that loser, right? You want to be able to shoot shit from your backyard. Okay. Wait. Okay. What kind of chain did you get? I got a silver. We're douched out now. Where are we? Yeah, I am. I'm chained the fuck up. Yeah. This is my piece, okay? Watch out or I'll show you I'll break out my other piece. Okay, I will fuck you up. Be careful.
Again, this is not saying that we didn't go to the moon. It could be, and this was a fact with the Gemini 15 program, where Michael Collins, there was a photograph of Michael Collins that they took in one of his one of his training exercises where he had, those packs that they put on where they can move around while they're doing moon walks, or not moon walks, space walks outside of where they're connected by a tether. And he was like in this harness and manipulating this device. And what they had done is taken a photograph of him training, and then someone, probably some overzealous PR person, had taken that photograph and then blacked out the background and tried to pass it off as a really clear photograph of him out there on a spacewalk, which is probably very difficult to get, right? You'd have to have another person in the camera, frame it right. They had this photo, they're like, look, he did it. Let's just pass this off as the real thing. Which is, you're also talking about the Nixon administration, where they were just full of shit constantly.
If you remember, this is where he tried to
yes.
claim it was from, which is a Russian video.
Okay.